The Xiaomi eCam was an insider tip for action cam friends and has a successor with the E4K, but is a new purchase worth it? Inside the small box of the E4K is the action cam itself, the battery, a USB cable, as well as a Chinese quick start guide. The charger you have to own by yourself if you don't like to charge it with your own PC. In contrast to the first eCam, here you have just one button, which is used as a power or trigger button. Next to the power button on the left and the right, you can see the microphones.
The sound without the microphone case is just fine. So this footage is with the waterproof case. As you heard, you will lose a lot of audio using the waterproof case.
Unfortunately, the eCam has no micro HDMI input to use it with an external screen. At least a 3-axis gyroscope and an accelerometer is on board. The speaker for listening to your recordings is on the top.
The main reason there is a speaker on the eCam is to control your voice output. And that's perfectly possible. If it's a little bit loud around you, you might run into some problems, but overall it's fine.
On the front, located next to the writing, is a small battery notification that shows you the battery status without looking at the screen. On the bottom is a thread where you can mount a time-lapse stand, for example. Fortunately, the micro USB flap is connected to the camera this time, so you won't be able to lose it. The SD card slot is not next to the USB port anymore, but next to the battery instead. Together with the card, the E4K only weighs 90 grams. The most important change of the E4K is the touchscreen on the back. The 2.19-inch screen allows an easy overview of the recording and lets you set up the device. At least in theory, because as long as you don't own the international version, all settings will be in Chinese. After taking some Chinese courses, the E4K is very easy to operate. The touchscreen reacts fast and reliable to my inputs. The viewing angles are good, so even from the side you can easily watch over your recordings. The screen resolution is 640 to 360 and comes with 330 ppi. During the test, the display convinces with its sharpness. Thanks to the high resolution, you can easily check the details in the picture, so everything is ready before the recording. Besides that, you can also view pictures or watch videos without connecting the camera to a smartphone. Taking a picture is also way faster than with the eCam 1. A display like this also has its cons because it's easier for the camera to get damaged if it falls to the ground. The E4K is equipped with an Umbrella A9 SE75 processor, which is the same one used inside the GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition. The Sony IMX377 f2.8 sensor is responsible for the pictures and videos and comes with a viewing angle of 155 degrees. It can record in various resolutions starting with 4K and 25 fps to Full HD and 100 fps. With 720p, 200 fps is also possible. Every recording mode has also an Ultra option. Not all, but some of the recording modes also come with an electronic image stabilizer, so the videos look smoother even without post-production to make it more comfortable to watch for the viewer. The best improvement of the E4K is that there finally is no focusing problem. Recordings are super sharp and you don't have to readjust the lens manually. Videos are saved in the MOV or MP4 format. New with the E4K is the slow motion mode, for which you don't need any post-production. Pictures are taken with up to 12 megapixel, but you also have the option to switch to 8, 7 or 5. Via Wi-Fi you can connect the E4K with your smartphone. Thanks to the dual band chip, you can switch between 5 and 2.4 GHz. The standard password is 1234567890. Once it is connected, the connection is stable and the possible distance is far enough. Via Bluetooth you can also connect a remote control. On the selfie stick, this function is already included and costs around €35 extra. After connecting your smartphone with the eCam 2, you can easily adjust and check your settings through the app. Fortunately, the app is in English even if you own the Chinese version of the camera. You can even get a live view of the recording from the distance, even though it may lag a little bit. It is also possible to view all your pictures and videos afterwards. Other useful settings are turning on or off the electronic image stabilization, changing ISO values, exposure, and the white balance. Through the app, it is also possible to update your camera, which works fast and without problems. Inside the bottom of the E4K is a 1400 mAh battery, which lasts for 107 minutes of 4K recording and a bit over 2 hours of 1080p recording. Should the camera be empty, it takes around 2 hours to charge it, during which you can still use the device. The E4K not only supports its own accessories, but is also compatible with other gadgets like the GoPro backpack from Thule or the GoPole. With the GoPro Hero 5 comes some movement to the action cam market. How good is the inexpensive E4K compared to this new model? Let's compare them. Discipline 1. Robustness. The GoPro Hero is water resistant while the eCam isn't and needs an extra case. In contrast to the rest of the GoPro line, you have to buy it by yourself since it's not included. Discipline 2. Image stabilization. A great advantage of the eCam is that some modes offer you an option for image stabilization, for which partly the sensor is used. The GoPro uses a software solution instead. Here only a small part of the picture gets corrected. On both cameras you can turn off the stabilization. Discipline 3. GPS. Everyone who likes geotagging should avoid the eCam and buy a GoPro instead. Discipline 4. The battery. GoPro states that the Hero 5 lasts for at least 2 hours of 4K recordings, which is a little bit better than the eCam 4. The result, the GoPro Hero 5 is a step ahead of the Xiaomi E4K. It would be interesting to see when and for which price the eCam will catch up to it. All in all, the E4K does its job very well. Recordings are great, and thanks to the electronic image stabilization, the eCam 2 surpasses even the GoPro Hero 4. But because of the two different versions and the costs for more accessories, the good cost-performance ratio goes down slowly. While the eCam became an instant hit, the fanbase of the E4K is even after months not as big as with the eCam 1. But you must keep in mind that the E4K is an additional eCam and not a replacement for the original. You have questions about the E4K? Ask them in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. My name is Imit for Tech Magnet.